Hello, I'm Mark Stay, author of the Witches of Woodville series and the End of Magic trilogy, and welcome to this third episode where I'm sharing what I've learned from doing 42 Comic-Cons in 2025. Well, let's talk about table displays, setting up, running the store and getting to and from the venues. We're going to start with some excellent questions, then in a separate video I'll take you on a tour of my table. So Alan Stroud has the first question. Have you tried or are you open to collaborating with other authors to make the running of the stand a little easier for lunch breaks, etc.? Julian Barr says, what do you pack in your survival kit for the day? Do you bring a buddy to help run the stall? If so, do you pay them? If not, well, what do you do if you need to pop off to the loo? And Jennifer Taylor Gray asks, any tips for travelling with lots of books? I've only done one and that was local to me. It was amazing, but without a car, I'm not sure how other ones are possible. Well, thank you for these excellent questions. Let's take them one at a time and then I'll take you on the tour of my table. Do I take someone with me to run the store and cover for breaks? Generally, no. Other authors might bring their partner along, and most cons offer 2 passes or wristbands as part of your fee. But my wife works hard enough as it is without me dragging her to a Comic-Con just because I need a whiz. That said, we traders do look after each other and we'll keep an eye on a neighbouring table if someone has to rush off to do something unmentionable. And yes, thank you for inquiring into my toilet habits. I've learned not to drink tea or any other diuretic drinks while selling. I sip water. Sip, don't gulp. For lunch, I usually get little sausage rolls or similar small snacks, something you can nibble quickly. I'd love a big sandwich, but if you're mid-bite and a customer comes along and you're wiping mayonnaise off your chin, etc., it's not a good look. I also have little low-calorie snack bars and an apple, and I graze. From, say, 11 onwards, I have a little nibble every half hour. I'm sure some nutritionist out there will tell me it's a terrible thing, but I have the attitude that I'm there to sell, I'm working. I live in fear of wandering off and missing a sale. The only time I make an exception is when I'm at something like the MCM and I'm doing a panel, and that means I'm away from my table for over an hour. And one of my kids will cover the table for me and then ask people to return later. And to answer Jennifer's question about travelling to and from cons without a car, well, I only ever use my car, so I've asked a few author friends who use public transport to get to Comic-Cons and other events. First got back to me was Ian Hunter, author of the Finn Carter series and the Shoe Creeper, and you'll see a little link for his books there. He sent me this. Travelling to a Comic-Con or event via public transport can feel like a daunting task. Here are some of my top tips to help you feel prepared. Packing. Suitcases are good options for keeping books secure. You can cut a box to fit the inside and pad it out. A suitcase with a hard shell gives more protection from bumps, but it also helps keep your stock waterproof. Very good point. Using a case with 4 wheels and using them all rather than tilting means your case is better balanced with less chance of a wheel breaking mid-journey. Size versus weight. If you're travelling away for more than a day or the event is a big one, you might want to take more stock and need a bigger suitcase. No problem. You may be tempted to think, I can wheel the suitcase. Absolutely. Always ensure you can also lift the packed case first. If you can't lift the case off the ground, you will struggle with things like getting the case on or off a train or a bus. Worse, lifts could be out of order. Transport alterations might mean you might encounter this despite planning the journey. Even if you find help, a case of books, etc., is no light task. So, other considerations: flat pack displays help with space. Carry items you might want fast and easy access to in a backpack or a small bag so you don't need to open the suitcase mid-journey. Carry delicate items the same way so you can protect them more easily. If staying overnight, taking a separate sports bag which you can balance on top of the suitcase means you can leave the heavy suitcase at the event and only take the essentials to your accommodation. With large and heavy luggage, ensure you tell a taxi company when ordering so they don't arrive with a car without enough boot space. Be prepared to accept that the luggage section on a train, etc., may already be full, so you might need to stay with your luggage between carriages and sacrifice your seat. Allow extra time for connecting trains, etc., partially due to potential delays, partially because there could be queues for the lifts. Remember that it might feel like a mission, but with a bit of careful planning, it can work. Either way, you'll learn for next time. You've got this. Brilliant advice. Thank you, Ian. And I got this from the wonderful Joe Dawson, author of The Goodness Potion and Its Side Effects. And again, there'll be links to these authors' amazing books below. Joe says, remember, You have a chance to advertise and market until the second you close your front door. I have an upright trolley with clear boxes with the books in on the inside, and I have paper tape with the book title and a QR code, and I've made sales on the tube and DLR since people will be looking at the big bulky thing anyway. But it also means you have to keep a smile on your face regardless of what's happening around you. Oh, the problems of being a celeb on the tube. So for Joe, the con starts the minute he leaves home until he returns. While I'm stuck in traffic, he's still selling books. My thanks to Joe and Ian for sharing those top tips. Right, let's take a tour of my table. See you in the next video, and I'll try and remember to pop a link below. And just to give you a little tease, I do have a question from Alan Stroud about the table. Do you use a POS solution for payments? If so, what's worked for you, and how do you manage setup and takedown on your own? Right, let's do that in the next video. This way.